Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Create, and welcome back to my channel. You are watching my Valentine's Day card series for 2023. I created these two cards last year on my channel during the Valentine's Day season, and I used this pattern from a box that I had kept to recycle. And so I mentioned in last year's video that I wanted to go ahead and recreate these cards with crafting supplies because I love the images, I love the colors. So I went ahead and picked up this stencil from Simon Says Stamp. This is the Tumbling Hearts stencil. There's a few different stencils out there that are similar to the hearts in the packaging that I used, but I'm going to be using this one, and all of the supplies that I use in today's video will be listed down below in the description box if you are curious and want to take a closer look at it. And if you want to recreate these cards with me, now you can, and now I'm giving you the inspiration to do it. I will also have the video that I created last year linked down below in the description box as well. So I'm just adding the stencil over my card base, and then I realized, wait, I need to do the background before I add in the stenciling of the hearts. So I'm going to take the stencil off and then pick some Distress Oxide inks to blend this in and get it done. I love the colors that I chose. I feel like I should have done a little bit of a lighter pink color in the background to match the packaging, but it was quite difficult to get it perfect. But I feel like I captured the look of last year's cards with the stamping supplies pretty darn good and worked with what I had. So I'm just using the Rabbit Hole Designs blending brushes to ink up this background and have the background before I add in the hearts. The only thing that was different about this stencil is there was no overlay of hearts, and wasn't like the perfect sizing, but it was pretty darn close, and I really like the results in the end. So inking up this background, and then I will go ahead and ink up the slimline card, recreate. If you are new here and have never been to my channel, definitely hit that like button and subscribe for more Valentine's Day cards, birthday cards, thank you cards. I have a St. Patrick's Day card series coming up and Easter. I hope you stick around and get inspiration for your crafting projects too. And if you are a subscriber already, thank you so much for being here. I hope you were inspired by today's video. It was really fun to try and recreate a card from recycled materials, because when you recycle, it's really fun and it's great to use the things around you, but then you don't necessarily have that. This heart packaging was from a doll that my daughter had received for Christmas last year, and well, once I use it, I don't have it again. So to be able to find a stencil and grab some inks that are close in color and recreate that, it was a really fun challenge, and I challenge you to recreate things around you and think outside the box beyond the recycling. How can you recreate the things around you, and how can you be inspired by them? Not only how do you be inspired by the packaging or the things, but how do you recreate that? So I'm just using my finger to get in here and ink up the hearts because it was so detailed, and I could not find a detailed brush in my collection for all of these different colors. So I just opted to use my finger, get in there, and blend it all together, switching it up. So I went with the green, the pink, and the blue to recreate this design. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this down, cut off the parts that didn't necessarily line up, and then we will be able to go ahead and adhere it to the card base. and continue to get these cards recreated and done, trimming it down so that it fits here on the card. And then I'm going to do the sentiment. So the sentiment that I used was from Lawn Fawn. This is the My Silly Valentine Day set, which I feel like they just retired, but you could use any sentiment that said Happy Valentine's Day, love, from your collection. And I just used the Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink to ink this up, and then applied some Simon Says Stamp white embossing powder to make this sentiment stand out and pop on the black cardstock. Heated it up, and melted that. And now I can go ahead and add the panel on and my sentiment. And then that finishes off the first card. So as you can see, the background color is a little bit different, but I feel like I did a pretty good job recreating this. So now I'm just doing the slimline background. Same thing, going back in with the colors, using my finger so I can get in there simply and easily and not have to deal with the blending brushes because there's a lot of detail on the smaller hearts. I just wanted to go ahead and get this done, and my finger worked pretty darn good. Didn't have to worry about blending brushes and overlapping, but I could get the detail that I wanted. So once the stenciling is all done, I can go ahead and peel that up. And I do need to move it down. I believe there is a slimline version of this stencil, or other slimline versions of the stencil where it's a full slimline stencil, but I did not have that. So I am just moving it along, moving it down, adding more color, more stenciling, and finishing up this card. So once that was done, I'm going to cut it down. You can see that it peeled off a little bit, but that's okay. That was a part that needed to be cut off. So now I'm going to adhere this to the card panel, to the slimline card, and I'd already done the sentiment up, so I'm using the advanced tape guider to get these on quickly, to get my panels on quickly to the card bases, and aligning everything up and getting these cards done. And then I will be able to add the sentiment in, and then as you can see on the previous card that I created last year, there's also some sequins on this one. I did do, I think, 2 other cards in the video from last year, but they were a little bit more tricky to recreate because they had a little bit more detail from the packaging. So I did not recreate those cards, but I just recreated these 2 for you to show you that you can take the inspiration around you and recreate it. It might not look exactly the same, but that's okay. How do you be inspired by something and make something similar? So just getting out the sequins that match the first card that I created last year. I'm pretty sure I picked the exact same ones. There might be a slight difference in them, but now I'm just using the Marvy Jewel Pick and placing some sequins down before I adhere them down, kind of matching the card I created last year, but also putting them where I feel like they will work within the new color scheme. And then once I'm happy with the placement of those sequins, and then I can go ahead and glue them down, and that will finish up the card. So just getting the right amount of sequins. So definitely hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, because I have more Valentine's Day cards coming your way in the near future, and I don't want you to miss it. I hope you are inspired by this video, and I would love to have you come back and be inspired along the way as I share what I love to do with you and inspire you along the way. Alright, so I'm just using the Barely Art glue to get these sequins adhered down, and then like I said, this is going to finish up the card. Let me know down below in the comments if you have ever recreated something like this before. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.